Gail mail. I got my first mail at my P.O. box. Here it is. This is from Joshua J. Joshua. Empress Gail, wishing you a happy Halloween. Nothing tricky, only treaty, because you're such a little sweetie. P.S. I loved your wet ass pussy videos. Thank you for your inspiration every week. Joshua J. Joshua from the Church of Gail. And yeah. So this came to the P.O. box. So that was the only thing. I checked the P.O. box twice in the past week. And so thank you, Joshua. And now I'm wearing my Halloween outfit. You know, we had a fun movie night talking with fans and seeing their faces. And we spent a couple hours hanging out, then watched a movie called Knock Knock about Keanu Reeves getting raped. And boy, did we have some pretty deep, interesting discussions about Knock Knock. Lori's bombs are making me cough. And and her the whatever's in these bombs is so irritating that even though my bowel movements and everything are getting better, they're now starting to get like burny and irritating. So, but I'm getting better. Anyways, we were talking about Keanu Reeves getting raped, and Brent tried to talk, and Lauren McBride wouldn't let him. And every time he tried to get in there, went bong right in the middle of watching the movie. And I thought, what was that? Is that the movie? And Zach was having some trouble getting the connection because Lauren McBride was interfering. And the at first we didn't hear any sound, and it was really choppy. So Zach used his technology to overcome it. And eventually we were able to hear the movie. The sound was low, but we were able to hear the movie. Zach said he's going to work on it and he's going to get it all fixed. He's actually got like a PhD in computers or something. But you know, we were talking about how Satan invented electricity and the computer, so that's what we're up against. But we did manage to watch the movie. And I told my men, I said the movie's ending was a little confusing because but I highly recommend if you want to know what Jesuit women are like. The blonde in Knock Knock was patterned after Laurie McBride, and the brunette was patterned after Camilla Alves. And we were all talking about the movie as we were watching it, and I could hear their voices and everything. And in the middle of all of our connection problems, and it was just we spent a couple hours. We hung out before the movie and then a little bit after the movie, and we talked about the movie. And they were asking me questions, and I told them that Brent, Keanu, and Matthew McConaughey actually helped to write the script. And you could tell by watching the movie because, and Brent said that afterwards, you know, after the movie was over, he said that that movie reminded him so much of what he went through with Laurie McBride. But he said the difference was that Jesuits tend to be much more violent. It was so violent that they couldn't portray it realistically in the movie or it wouldn't be shown in Hollywood. The only criticism I had, which I talked about, was the ending to Knock Knock was kind of confusing. And one of our fans thought, oh, I guess the ending was the Keanu Reeves character died. And I talked with Brent afterwards, and Brent said, no, we left it ambiguous on purpose to let the viewers draw their own conclusion. Like, how would you feel if you were his wife and kids and you came home and saw what his house looked like? Basically, the Laurie McBride and Camilla Alves characters took over his house, totally demolished it, and made him look like he was unfaithful to his wife and that he enjoyed having all these wild, violent escapades with these. They were attractive girls, but evil girls. They were monsters who invaded his house. And I said the ending would have been better if you had maybe like a postscript that said, what would you think if you saw this? And then show that he was still alive, because we thought maybe he died. And that made it kind of confusing. And I told them that as somebody who's studied a little bit of screenwriting, I thought, the theme of this movie is Monster in the House, Blake Snyder's Monster in the House. And we got into some discussion. I said that Monster in the House movies usually bring up a sin. And I said the sin in Knock Knock was that these women were obsessed with carnality to the point that they became monsters. So the sin was excessive carnality. And Jesus once said that Jesuits know nothing about moderation. And so when you take your sex drive to such an extreme where you don't have any respect for other people's rights or their feelings about sex, and you just push your sexual preferences on everybody regardless of how they feel, then I was just telling them that's when you become a monster. And that's what Laurie McBride and the Laurie McBride Jesuits have become. They have become monsters. I think I'm going to fix this. Yeah, let's fix this. Yeah. So we talked about the movie, but we had a lot of fun, and I got to know everybody. And I have quite a diverse fan base. I'm really proud of that too. It shows that I'm a very tolerant, accepting person. And my men wanted me to mention my Halloweens with my son. To be honest with you, my son and I didn't celebrate Halloween that much. Goodness, why is it? I guess the sun keeps the clouds get over. We didn't, and that's because I grew up. I mean, my ex-husband was like a King James Bible only person, fanatic, and he felt that Halloween was a satanic holiday. But I was quite a seamstress when I was married, and like I would sew my son kippas when we'd go visit synagogues, and so that could wear it when we visited synagogues when I did my research for Silver Skies as a writer when we lived in Houston. I actually ended up visiting a synagogue where Brent's mother actually attended, and I didn't even know it. And I think my son went with me, and he so admired he actually seems to take more after me. And he so admired my seamstress abilities that he's now a better seamstress than I am. He actually sews his own costumes when he goes to like these conventions for his like Zelda characters and everything. So, but like I said, probably the extent of my Halloweens with my son is they would go to church on Halloween. I think at the church I went, they actually made it a point to have church services on Halloween to try to overcome this satanic holiday. So that was about the extent of my Halloweens with my son. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you. I did get some mail. Here it is. Lori made a comment underneath one of my videos threatening to send me some cat poop, but I didn't get that. So maybe my men intervened and made sure I didn't get it. I haven't gotten any cat poop at my P.O. box. So my dears, I really am excited about, having my P.O. box and my channel. And so, ta-da, we shall say goodbye now. This is my Halloween costume. And thank you so much, fans, for supporting me. And I will see you again. Also, I would like to mention that I would like to have one of you all order me a cork board from my Amazon wish list. And there will be a link for that underneath this video. And what I would like to do is display it right here on the wall so that I can do stuff like pin up all your letters and cards right there on the wall. Right up here is some art from my book, Silver Skies. That's the Matthew McConaughey character who's Dorban Habakkuk. And then that's me. I'm the Brianna Wilhelm female lead. This is some art from Ribby Jenkins. She sent that to me several months ago. So that's up on the wall too. So whenever you fans send me cards and stuff, I'd like to get a cork board and put it right up here on the wall. So if one of you could, I'm not allowed to spend any money except on food and bills. So if one of you could order that for me, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.